Hey guys, and welcome to my first What's in My Bag video. I see these all over YouTube and I enjoy watching them and kind of getting a glimpse of the gear that other people use, so hopefully you'll get something out of this one. Now, this concept kind of comes in two parts for me, because when I go out on the road, I'll typically have this Pelican case with me, which is a Pelican 1510, and I'll also have my backpack here, which is a Wonder Provoke 31. This is just my daily backpack that I use for pretty much everything. It works just as well commuting as it does going into the mountains. So the idea is that I can load up the majority of my gear between these two cases, this bag and this case. Then when I get out on location to a campsite or something like that, for example, in the morning, I'll usually get up, assess what I think I'm gonna shoot that morning, and then transfer over any gear that I think I'm gonna use from the hard case to my backpack, any gear I think I'm not gonna use from my backpack to the hard case. This gets locked up and hidden away, and then I'm off on the trail. The plus side to that is that I can bring stuff that I might not normally bring on a typical landscape shoot. Like I might bring a really long lens because I want to experiment with it, or it's a different kind of camera, or some lighting modifier, something like that, for example. So I kind of like that. If I'm going on a longer trip, this gets left at home and this backpack just gets loaded with the essentials that I know I can use to make a photograph pretty much anywhere in the world. But that's another video. So I'm going to take you through kind of the stuff that I typically have loaded up in here and give you guys an idea of the gear I lug around. So to start with, we'll just go through my couple of tripods here. So this tripod is my main workhorse of a tripod. I really like this thing. I got it about a year ago. This is an Alta Pro, or Vanguard Alta Pro 263 AT. This ball head on here, I actually don't even know the logo is scratched off. I can guarantee it wasn't very expensive, but it's just an Arca Swiss type ball head. They'll take an Arca Swiss plate, and yeah, that's that. It's a great tripod. It needs a cleaning right now. It's very squeaky. And then also, I will almost always bring this little Joby Gorillapod. You'll notice that the head is missing. That's because it is attached to this camera, which is attached to an older tripod of mine, so I can make this video. So yeah, these guys are great. Joby Gorillapods are, like, they've been around forever at this point, but they're really neat to be able to take out, on the road and into the mountains and stuff like that, because, the legs can articulate and bend around branches, and, it's easy to hand to somebody else or to hold out in front of you and speak into a camera, stuff like that. So these guys are pretty cool too. Okay, moving on to the meat and potatoes. I will take you through what's in here, and then we'll go through this backpack, and then we'll be done. All right, so this case is typically pretty loaded down. I don't really have a lot of free space in here. So this is my Nikon 24-70 f2.8. Most of you watching this video know what this lens is, or know if it's, counterparts from other manufacturers. This is 90% of what I shoot with this lens. It is a beast. It's a workhorse. I've had it for years now, and it still, I've taken fairly good care of it, and it's been cleaned a lot. So it still, I think, functions pretty close to the day I bought it. And the glass needs to be cleaned, but it's in pretty good shape. This is my Tokina 11-16 millimeter f2.8. I bought this lens a few years ago just because I wanted something ultra wide, and I always shoot on crop censored cameras anyways. So you need something like really wide to get a true wide angle of view. And this thing's been great. The autofocus is kind of janky these days. It's been through 2 falls, and it's still going strong for, how much I've beat it up, but I typically manually focus almost everything I shoot anyways, so it's not really that big of a deal for me. And the optics are still beautiful, and it's actually a pretty reliable little lens. Okay, now this is my Nikon 200-500 millimeter f2.8. I bought this lens fairly recently, and I'll be honest with you why. When I was a kid, I wanted nothing more than to grow up and be a wildlife photographer. My professional photography career has not exactly gone in that direction, but I've decided it's time to try my hand. And I'll tell you what, I've only been out a few times with this lens with the intention of capturing wildlife photos. And I have a staggering new appreciation for talented wildlife photographers. I cannot believe the amount of diligence, determination, and just hard work that goes into capturing some of those images that, you and I might take for granted. So that's why this one exists in my kit now, and I'm pretty determined to make a good go of it, but we'll see we'll see how things go. How about the camera itself? So this is my Nikon D500. And I don't really know what to say about it other than I love it. It's fantastic. I have never been let down by this camera. The video is awesome that it can do. The stills are phenomenal. The burst speed. To me it's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of cameras right now. Now I know that there's a lot of conversation that can be had about what's better, which brand is better, which model is better, stuff like that. But I feel like you get to a point where not a lot of that matters as much as long as you're confident in what you're producing and you're happy with the results. So that's how I feel about this camera, and it's a true beast. I love this thing. This is my little Pelican case inside of my big Pelican case. This is just a little clamshell hard case that holds my SD cards. And that's that. Let's see. I have this little bag by Newer here that is perfect for holding camera batteries. And that's a thing, is that I like everything to kind of have a case and have a spot that it's in. I don't like loose stuff rolling around in my cases or bags or anything like that. Let's see. Oh, this is my Rode Videomic Go. It's just a compact little microphone that I use on my D500 for when I'm shooting B-roll and stuff like that, and it's actually pretty great. I was surprised with the quality I got off of this little thing, and yeah, I would recommend that. It's a fairly inexpensive microphone, a camera top microphone that gets really great audio. Okay. I have an L bracket here, Arca Swiss type L bracket that fits the ball head on my tripod. How about some filters, or a filter, I guess. I don't shoot with a lot of filters just because I don't have a lot of filters. I have this one here, which I absolutely love. It's a 10-stop neutral density filter. It's called the Big Stopper by Lee Filters, and I freaking love this thing. It's fantastic. You can slow your exposure down so far with this. It's like you could glass out the ocean in a rough surf. It's really cool. So that's super fun to use. On top of that, I have a filter holder here that fits onto most of my lenses, and the Big Stopper slides into that. And then here I have a circular polarizer by Haida that honestly I actually haven't used this too much. I just got it not that long ago. Okay, so moving on to the storage compartments. In this one here, I have battery chargers for all the different types of rechargeable batteries that I use. In this one here, I have some XLR audio cables, and this is the shutter release for my D500. So I typically will use this almost every time I'm shooting a landscape or anything in nature, because I can't not shoot something as a long exposure, apparently. Let's see. Down here are extra batteries like AA's and AAA's, things like that. Up here is my cleaning supply pouch. Typically that'll be stuffed full of microfiber cloths. Those are actually being washed right now. So right now I just have a puffy blower in there. And then down here, it's all just fasteners. So anything to kind of like attach something to something else fits in here. Okay, and that's it for this case. All right, so moving on to the backpack. Okay, so in this guy, typically when I go out on the road, all the same stuff is there as when I go out for the day. All right, so I've got my laptop, which is it's like a mid or late 2015 MacBook Pro, I think. Let's see. I have my iPad here, which is actually surprisingly useful for me because I like to load up a lot of maps on here and like offline Google Maps and things like that. And it's just nice to have a really big screen to kind of touch and navigate through when I'm trying to find a location or trying to find a route or something like that. Let's see. All right, and then this guy opens up, and I will show you my favorite camera. So, this is my grandfather's Hasselblad 500C. I don't know when he bought this. I just know that he had it and he shot with it, and right now I am shooting with it, and it is like a dream. If I had one camera to shoot on for the rest of my life, it would probably be this one. It takes 120mm film. In there right now, I have a roll of Ilford HP5 that I've been having a lot of fun with. And honestly, I don't know what else to say. It's a beautifully made thing. From the lines and the design to the way it functions and the sounds it makes, it's phenomenal. So this camera I absolutely love, and it's gonna go right in the front, right there. Now, this little guy is just a cable shutter release that will screw in to the front of that Hasselblad and allow me to trigger the shutter without touching the camera and shaking it. All right, and that's actually all that's in there right now. Okay, then on the inside, I have this little bag that is full of all sorts of cables and chargers and things like that to charge my phone, charge my laptop, backup battery, that sort of thing. I've got, this is my journal. This is a Midori Traveler's Notebook. I think they're just called Traveler's Notebook Company now. Okay, and this is my Nintendo Switch. I like having this thing when I go out to shoot because oftentimes I will choose a location that I need to wait at. So like I'm waiting for the light to change or get exactly how I want it. And it's nice to have something to pass the time. And also camping, having something to do in the tent or in the car at night before you go to bed is super nice. So what else? Microfiber cloth, and that's it. So this mess of stuff is everything I will typically bring with me when I go on to location to shoot. And looking at it now, it seems like I have a lot of stuff that I bring. Anyways, that's pretty much it. So thank you for joining me today. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of taking a look at all this junk that I bring with me everywhere. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't already, I would really also appreciate it if you could subscribe to this channel. It's one of the best metrics I have to know if people are enjoying these videos, and kind of motivates me to make more. So yeah, that's it. Until next time, take care.